Hey, so don't compare yourself. Your competition is of you, right? So you've heard that a million times. I know I have too. We're always told do not compare yourself. And while it's true, you don't want to always be comparing yourself to everyone else. You don't want to compare your life to someone else's life and all these things. We've heard that, we get that. And I want to talk about a different angle of how you get to use comparison. Okay. So tell a quick story. Um, I was at the gym. This is last week, and because you know me, Self Care Friday, and I'm gonna tell a quick story. And I'm gonna tell you who I am, and I'm gonna tell some other stuff. Anyways, so I'm at the gym last week, and it was I'm in the pool, and I'm swimming. I'm doing laps back and forth. There's a guy next to me, and he's doing laps, and so we're racing right up and down, and sometimes he wins the race. Sometimes I win the race, right? And I'm not a great swimmer, so when I'm winning these races, you can't tell me a darn thing, right? I'm going even harder every time. I'm really excited. I love to win. I love that competition. I love that we're going back and forth, right? So sometimes he's winning the race. Sometimes I'm winning the race. And when we got back, when we finished, I'm like, whew, I'm realizing that I have swam faster laps than I've ever swam in my entire life, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so whether he won, whether I won, there was one thing that was clear the entire time. I was the only one racing. This guy had no clue that we were in a competition, right? And so I know that's ridiculous. I know it's funny. And sometimes we do that, right? Like the other person has no clue that this competition is happening. But you know what that did for me? It allowed me to spark something that was in me, right? I thought that I could only do a lap in, I think it was like a minute or something like that, right? And I'm finding that this probably went not a minute, it might have been a minute and a half. But, anyways, and I was finding that I was cutting my lap time to like a minute and 20 seconds and things like that because I'm racing this guy who's not, this man has no clue that we're racing, right? He has absolutely zero clue. But I was able to use that moment of competition, right? Of comparison. I was even looking at his, like the way he was swimming. I was looking at the way he was moving his arms and legs, and I was shifting mine to to do what he was doing because clearly he was a better swimmer than me. So I'm like, okay, let me try this. Let me try that. Okay, I see his legs are moving like this. Let me try and move mine like this. Let me kick like this. Let me do my arm movements like this, right? Let me do whatever this is called, right? I told you, I'm not a great swimmer. I can keep myself alive and I can swim, but I'm not like in anybody's competition until that, right? Until I was competing against this guy. But the point is that I was able to use that and it allowed me to propel forward in my swimming. Not only did it help me to improve the quality of how I was swimming, right? So I got to improve my stroke, but it also allowed me to speed up my swimming. Now I know that I can swim faster. Now, next time, that guy is not going to be there when I go swimming next time. But I know because I can swim faster, I know what my times get to be. Now I get to beat those times. And here's why I mention this. I mention this to highlight that we get to use competition uh, as needed, right? We get to use comparison when it allows us, when it propels us forward, and in certain situations. So I'm going to tell you in a second about what that means and how it works. But first, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Ilika Follett, and I work with wellness professionals to get away from the chase and the grind and move towards monthly recurring revenue, right? It's all about working less, living more, feeling better while you reclaim your revenue. So we use visibility strategies, productivity hacks, right? As well as mindset shifts to get you to be more profitable in your purpose. That's what we're doing. So the reason I bring that up and how this comes into it is this is a mindset shift, right? This is something where I'm thinking I can only swim at this rate. It's going to take me 2 minutes to do a lap because I am not a fast swimmer, right? This is what I've told myself. Yet, when I'm swimming against this guy, when I'm racing this guy, because I was an athlete growing up. I was a basketball player, so everything was competition, right? And so when I was thinking, oh, I don't want to, when I got to that point where, oh, I don't want to compare my journey to someone else's and blah, 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 right? That's definitely a thing. And I'm not comparing my journey. I'm comparing this one action, this competition, 2 day swimming. So don't compare, don't muffle those two situations, right? One is comparing your life journey, right? Or your business journey. Like, I started my business, 3 years ago. Oh, I'm at my parents' house. So you'll see you might hear the phone ring, a house phone. Anyways, um, hopefully somebody answers it. But okay, but yeah, so let me get back to what I was saying. I can't even think with the phone ringing. But yeah, don't muffle those two, right? You started your business 3 years ago, and so now you're like, oh, Susie started her business 3 years ago, and she's way ahead of me. Susie's already, making $700,000 in her business. You get to look at that and say, okay, let me not compare to Susie. Susie has a completely different business model, right? Has different experiences in life, all these things. But what you can do is you can say, oh, you know what? Susie did a challenge like this, and I like the way she did it. I'm not going to do exactly Susie's challenge, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the challenge idea and I'm going to flip it to align with what I do. That's what you can do. So now you were able to use someone else's idea, what someone else is doing, and basically improve it for yourself. That is completely different, right? Than comparing your entire journey to Susie's journey, because we get ideas, right? The first person that decided to make bread, they made bread. They had the idea of putting wheat together and whatever it is to make bread, and then someone else took that and said, "Oh, I like this bread idea. What if I made a sandwich with it?" Right? Or someone else said, "Ooh, I like this white bread idea. What if I added like some seeds in it and things like that and made it and removed some gluten and removed these different things and made it like more of a seed bread?" You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily about the competition. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not necessarily about the comparison. It's about looking at the different learnings that you have, looking at what's around you, learning from that, and allowing that to take you to your business to the next level, or your life to the next level, or whatever it is that you're doing, right? So that's what we're talking about. So when you're thinking about comparing, right? Look at it more. Don't look at necessarily comparing your life journey or your business journey. Look at what can you see? What do you see around you that can actually help you improving in your process? Because once you have that, now you can take it to the next level. Even when I think about my retreats, right? I was hosting retreats to show people how to become more profitable in their retreats. I was working with Fire Savvy and Deanna Jean with Success Tribe, right? And when I was doing that, um, Fire Savvy gave me the idea of showing people how to host retreats. And then I was working with Success Tribe, and Deanna said, well, as you're selling out your retreats, you could have people speak, look for guest speakers for your retreats. I took those two ideas and I said, ooh, what if I had guest speakers speaking for my entire audience at these retreats, this audience of 70,000? Because what this allows me to do is it allows me to continue to support that audience, because that audience may not be necessarily what I do right now. So now I get to bring in wellness professionals, and business professionals to support this audience that needs what they have. And then I was like, ooh, what if we did this off-site? And now others can attend this event. It's not just the folks in the mansion, right, who are staying with us in the mansion at the retreat. It's also additional folks either in the area who may have flown in and decided to stay at a hotel or stayed in an Airbnb, but they want to get these amazing jewels and gems and strategies and tools that are going to be shared at Reclaim You networking and speaking event, where transformation meets action, right? They want to get those tips. They want to network with these amazing, not just the amazing speakers, but also the incredible people that are in the room, right? Other business owners, other corporate professionals, others that want to shift and are ready to take 2024 to the next level. So I was like, If I do something off site, that takes it to a whole new level, and it allows more people to get to benefit from this, as well as the folks who are online being able to watch it virtually, right? So this is what it's become. And it started from a simple idea that allowed us to shift, right? And so it started with even me comparing or looking at comparing with other situations. Well, I wonder how this retreat is run. I wonder how that retreat is run. And then, ooh, I could do this and I could do this and we could change it to this. And then getting advice and things from my coaches and mentors. We could try this. Wow. What if we did it off site? Wow. So many people get to benefit. That's what it gets to become. And that's what happens when you stop necessarily looking at it as comparison and looking at things as ideas. And then sometimes it's competition, right? Especially when it comes to the swimming. But that's what it all gets to come back to. All right. So if you're saying, you know what, it's time for me to take my 2024 to the next level, I want to take my business and life to a whole new level, right? To really get these shifts that I've been talking about since 2021, right? To really have these shifts, then you want to be in that room. If you can't be in that room, you definitely want to watch virtually. But I say try and get in that room, right? You go to reclaimyouretreats.com and you can register to be in the room and really shift things. You're getting some amazing, like networking opportunities, which will allow you to leave with connectors, collaborators, and clients, right? These are the three things that we want. Connectors are going to get you on more stages and or refer you to their audiences or refer you to their friends, people that they know that also need your services, right? Uh, Clients are become clients. You know what that means, right? And collaborators, these are people that you can create new things with, new offers, new opportunities, new relationships. That's what you get to leave the Reclaim You retreats with, right? The Reclaim You networking and speaking series. That's what you get to walk away with. So if that's something you want, go ahead and get into reclaimyouretreats.com and sign up for either the in-person, which that's where you're going to get the networking and the leading with clients, collaborators, and connectors, right? Or you can be there virtually, which is still amazing because you're going to get these resources, tools, strategies to take you and your business to the next level in 2024. All right. So I will see you all there. This is our Friday. You know, we go live every Friday at 11ish, right? We go every Friday at 11, every Saturday at 11, where on Friday we usually talk about the thing. And then on Saturday, we show how to implement it, right? Friday, we usually show how it affects our lives. Saturday, we talk about how it affects the business. And that's exactly what we're doing at the Reclaim You retreat. On Friday, we are talking about self, right? And again, this is an in-person or virtual event. So you want to be there. Friday, we're talking self. Saturday, we're talking business. All right. So let's make it happen. 2024 is the year. All right. So I will see you guys there. I'm going to let y'all go. I'm getting back to my family. Talk to you soon. Take care.